So a senator just confronted Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth over the firing of top military leaders, accusations of political favoritism, and the administration's handling of the conflict with Iran. What started as a question about the dismissal of Army Chief of Staff General Randy George quickly turned into a heated clash over race, religion, military leadership, and whether the Pentagon is being driven by politics instead of merit. Then things got even more intense when the discussion shifted to Iran, with lawmakers challenging the administration's claims about the success of recent military operations. Watch this.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Secretary, you recently fired the Army Chief of Staff, General Randy George, who's one of the most distinguished and decorated officers of his generation. General George's nomination came before us. We reviewed it thoroughly, and we concurred. Why did you fire General George?
Well, as I did then, and I'll say now, we thank General George for his service. And out of respect to him and other officers, we never talk about the nature of why certain officers are asked to step down. But we all serve at the pleasure of the president. And ultimately, my view in coming into this department, as I stated in my confirmation hearing, was to change the culture of the department. And it's ultimately challenging to change the department, the culture of a department with the same people who are a part of or in that department. So I have made many changes with general officers. We will continue to make changes as necessary with general officers, and they will be in keeping with the trajectory of where we would like to take the department, but it doesn't take away from the service of those. And I think you will note that every officer that's been asked to leave has been treated with respect.
Interesting. Of the 24 officers that you have fired for reasons unrelated to performance, since you have not indicated any cause, 60% are black or females. Now, did the president direct you to single out female and black officers to be dismissed?
Senator, of course not. And as we've emphasized at this department from the beginning, the only metric is merit. Members on this committee and the previous leadership of this department were focused on social engineering, race and gender in ways that we think were unhealthy for the department, focusing on those things, making decisions based on those things.
Okay.
In President Trump's War Department, we make decisions based on only one thing, merit. And that's how we've made decisions going forward. That's how we've made them, and that's how we'll make them going forward.
Well, let me go back to General George. What did he fail in terms of his lack of merit to continue serving?
As I said, I don't talk about the nature of dismissal out of respect
for
these officers. But ultimately, we want to take the department in a particular direction, certain services in a particular direction, and we want leadership that's running as fast in that direction as possible. And in some cases, we make changes accordingly, but do so out of respect to those officers.
Well, I think that direction from your behavior is an intense interest in Christianity, in nationalism, and in not recognizing the talents of women and non-white gentlemen, and that's the wrong direction.
I don't know what you're insinuating, Senator, but I am not ashamed of my faith in Jesus Christ.
Well, you shouldn't be ashamed.
And if you want to shame me for it, go ahead.
I'm not shaming you, but are you critical of other faiths?
I am a believer. I'm quite open in that, and our department allows for a multitude of faiths. So I don't know what you're suggesting. I've heard the likes of things that people like you suggest to try to smear my character, and I won't give into it.
No. I'm sorry, Mr. Secretary, but broadcasting before the national religious broadcasters stressing the need for more Christianity in the military forces doesn't seem like a neutral position in which you tolerate and accept all religions. Let me move on. The strategic aspects of this operation in Iran. The president declared that we're going to destroy their missiles and raise their missile industry to the ground. And after more than 13,000 strikes, unclassified assessments conclude that Iran retains more than 40% of its drone arsenal and 60% of its ballistic missile launches compared with pre-war levels. That's one of his objectives. The Second objective was regime change. To the great proud people of Iran, I say tonight that the hour of your freedom is at hand, and we will take over your government. Well, when we finish, we'll take over government. That has not succeeded. And then one of his other things is at the onset of the war, the president said, we will ensure that Iran does not obtain a nuclear weapon. Military operations in Iran have not achieved that goal yet. And it also seems to indicate that his pronouncements about Operation Midnight Hammer obliterating the nuclear policy and structure of the Iranians was false. So you have not achieved any of the objectives yet that has the president mentioned.
Well, in this setting, I won't talk about the nature of metrics, which are classified, as you know, Senator. But I can say that looking at the objectives we set out to achieve from the beginning, some of which you laid out, our military objectives have been stunningly effective. Take, for example, their defense industrial base. They're completely incapable at scale at any level of reconstituting the capabilities you referred to, which is a devastating result for any country, especially one whose ambitions are as wide as Iran's. So we've put the president in a very strong position to ensure Iran never gets a nuclear weapon. That's the takeaway that's been underneath every single aspect of this. For 47 years, Iran's trying to blackmail its way to a nuclear weapon. They were closer than ever before because of bad deals under previous administration. President Trump was willing to do something about it and not allow their conventional missile shield. That's the North Korea strategy. That's, to be clear, what Iran was pursuing. Hiding their nuclear ambitions, revealing them over time, and then building a conventional shield of missiles so powerful that no country would challenge them for fear of what would happen if they unleashed that arsenal. Weakened after the 12-day war and Midnight Hammer, which did obliterate their sites, President Trump saw an opportunity because their ambitions continued to ensure that umbrella of nuclear blackmail did not allow them to get to a nuclear weapon. And the world is safer because of his bold and historic choice.
Mr. Secretary, I think that's rhetorical but not factual. Thank you.
Welcome back to Winner's Breakdowns. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, hit that like button, and turn on notifications so you never miss the biggest political showdowns, congressional hearings, and breaking news stories. And after watching this video, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think Secretary Hegseth answered these questions honestly, or do you believe lawmakers raised legitimate concerns that deserve more scrutiny? I want to hear from you. Now, after watching this exchange, I have to say this hearing exposed some serious issues that Americans should be paying attention to. The senator began by asking a straightforward question about General Randy George, a highly respected Army officer who had previously been confirmed with bipartisan support. Instead of providing a clear explanation for why General George was removed, Secretary Hegseth repeatedly refused to discuss the specific reasons behind the decision. He argued that senior officers serve at the pleasure of the president, and that changes were necessary to reshape the culture of the Defense Department. Now, let's be honest. Every administration has the right to choose military leadership that aligns with its vision and priorities. That part isn't unusual. But what stood out here was the refusal to explain what exactly General George did wrong. If someone is being removed from one of the most important military positions in the country, especially someone praised as a distinguished leader, Americans deserve at least some level of transparency. The hearing became even more controversial when the senator pointed out that a significant percentage of the officers removed under Hegseth's leadership were women or black officers. The senator questioned whether those demographics were being disproportionately targeted. Hegseth firmly denied the accusation and insisted that merit was the only factor guiding decisions. But here's where the criticism gains traction. If merit is truly the only standard, then it should be possible to explain what standards were not being met. Instead, the public is being asked to simply trust that the decisions are merit-based while receiving almost no information about the actual reasons behind the removals. That lack of transparency creates suspicion whether it's deserved or not. Then came the discussion about religion. The senator accused Hegseth of promoting Christianity within the military and suggested that some of his public remarks could be interpreted as favoring one faith over others. Hegseth pushed back aggressively, saying he was not ashamed of his Christian faith, and that the military protects the religious freedoms of all service members. Now, I want to be fair here. Nobody should be criticized simply for being a Christian, Jewish, Muslim, atheist, or any other faith. Religious freedom is a core American value. But public officials also have a responsibility to ensure that government institutions remain welcoming and neutral toward people of every background. When leaders make faith a major part of their public messaging, it's understandable that questions may arise about whether all service members feel equally represented. That doesn't automatically mean discrimination is happening, but it does mean scrutiny is appropriate. The most explosive part of the hearing came when the discussion shifted to Iran. The senator wasn't just questioning military operations. He was questioning accountability. Why were certain officers removed? Why isn't the Pentagon providing more details? How should Americans evaluate claims about military success? And how much transparency should citizens expect when decisions affect national security? Whether you support Democrats or Republicans, those are legitimate questions in a democracy. At the same time, Hegseth clearly believes he's carrying out the president's agenda and restructuring the military according to the administration's priorities. His defense throughout the hearing was consistent. Leadership changes are about direction, military decisions are based on merit, and operations against Iran have strengthened American security. The senator obviously disagreed and accused him of avoiding facts and relying on rhetoric. And that's really what this hearing came down to. One side argued that important decisions are being made without enough transparency and accountability. The other side argued that strong leadership requires difficult choices and that critics are misrepresenting both the facts and the motives behind those decisions. That's why exchanges like this matter. They force public officials to defend their decisions in front of the American people, and they give voters a chance to evaluate the arguments for themselves. But what do you think? Did the senator expose legitimate concerns about military leadership and accountability? Or do you think Secretary Hegseth successfully defended the administration's decisions? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure you like this video, subscribe to Winner's Breakdowns, and share it with your friends. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.